And first, the highlights. The Lagos State government certifies over 600 prepayment certificates for projects across the state. Nigeria Governors Forum promises improved minimum wage amid fiscal space reviews. On the foreign scene, Turkey suspends trade with Israel over humanitarian tragedy in Gaza. And in sports, Nigeria's Ademola Lookman gets nomination for Serie A Player of the Month. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State government, through the Ministry of Economics, Planning and Budget, has successfully certified a total of 603 prepayment certificates, PCs, for projects across all 20 local government areas in the state. And these projects are executed collaboratively by 46 ministries, departments and agencies in partnership with 410 contractors, encompassing both direct labor and outsourced services. Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Ope George, stated this during the year 2024 ministerial press briefing to commemorate the first year in office of the second term of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. George said the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget is a facilitating ministry that ensures continuous and dynamic socio-economic policy formulation through prudent and equitable resource management that supports the governor in achieving his dream for a greater Lagos. He noted that the President's administration has embarked upon several social protection programs and projects, some of which includes, but are not limited to, Onjeko, 25% transport fare reduction, Sunday markets, wage and award allowances, free maternal health care, amongst others. George also said the ministry has mapped and analyzed 98 social interventions in the state, which is a process of initiating a social protection digital platform, as well as creating awareness on social protection policy implementation in Lagos State. He had this to say.
In line with our commitment to transparency and accountability, the Ministry has developed a dedicated performance management reporting portal. The implementation of this portal commenced with 25 pilot MDAs. This platform, when in full operation, will serve as a centralized repository for showcasing the projects and achievements of each MDA to the public. To streamline our reporting process and enhance feedback mechanisms, the Ministry has also introduced an online performance management report, PMR template for 46 MDAs.
Earlier in his welcome address, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, said the Ministry of Economic Planning Act as the live wire to the other ministries, thereby appreciating the media for their accurate reportage.
One of the things that we are seeing today as achievements of the Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration, they emanated from the efforts of this ministry. But I know that it's a ministry that does a lot without making any noise at all.
And President had a briefing on Chairman House Committee on Economic Planning and Budget, Lukman Olumo, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Ibrahim Obajomo, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Economic Planning and Budget, Lekon Balogun, Head of various departments in the Ministry, among others. In a bid to reduce the unemployment rate, the Lagos State government is set to introduce the Empower Lagos initiative, which aims to empower 10,000 beneficiaries, which includes 2,000 post-NYC graduates, 3,000 SMEs, and 5,000 artisans through a 3-month training program. The Commissioner, Minister of Wealth Creation and Employment, Akiyemi Ajigbotafe, stated this during the ministerial press briefing in Alausa, Ikeja. Ajigbotafe noted that the Empower Lagos initiative will serve as a platform for dialogue and collaboration between private sector and government. He noted that under the initiative, 2,000 post-NYC graduates will undertake a 3-month training program per cohort in areas covering teamwork, critical thinking, communication, professionalism, among others. Ajigbotafe commended the leadership role and unflinching support of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and the Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat for efforts towards achieving a Lagos like no other and commitment towards the Ministry of Wealth Creation and Employment.
To promote entrepreneurship and strengthen the institutional capacity of MSMEs, the fund regularly organizes MSME HR and legal advisory sessions webinars and in master classes that promote access to market and knowledge sharing. This event recorded over 12,185 participants in 2023. Similarly, over 12,000 entrepreneurs participated in our grassroots engagement program in 2023, held virtually and physically across various LGAs and LCDAs. This is Ikorodu, Ilupeju, Badagry, Ibadan.
And in his welcome address, the Commissioner for Information, Gbenga Motosho, said the administration of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has done a lot in the ministry through various programs and interventions such as cash transfer, setting up businesses, helping artisans do well in their various spheres of life.
The Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration has done a lot in bringing up wealth creation. We want to talk about cash transfer, we want to talk about helping artisans do what they are doing better. We want to talk about helping our young people to set up their...
And those at the briefing include the Chairman, House Committee on Wealth Creation and Employment, Stella Foluke, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Biodun Onoyeli, heads of different agencies under the ministry, among others. And the Legacy Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has emphasized the importance of professionalism among its cadet officers in serving the motoring public across the state and ensuring effective traffic management. Special advisor to the Governor on Transportation, Shola Giwa, stated this during the commencement of a 3-day training course for LASMA cadet officers, noting that the significance of upholding ethics and professionalism in their roles cannot be overemphasized. Giwa cautioned the officers to shun corruption and exercise discipline in discharging their duties. Also, the General Manager of LASMA, Olaleko Bakarioki, said the training course would equip officers with the latest traffic management techniques, strategies, and best practices. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) says the 36 state governors are reviewing their individual fiscal space and the consequential impact of various recommendations geared towards achieving a sustainable and improved minimum wage. The governors acknowledge various initiatives adopted recently by way of wage awards and partial wage adjustment, saying it is imperative to state that the 37-member tripartite committee inaugurated on the national minimum wage is still in consultations and yet to conclude its work. According to a statement, Chairman and Governor of Kwara State, Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak, in a virtual meeting reiterated commitments to resolving issues bordering on remuneration of state judicial officers and the infrastructure of the courts. Today's World Press Freedom Day. The United Nations General Assembly declared today to be World Press Freedom Day, a World Press Day, to raise awareness of the importance of freedom in the press and remind governments of their duty to respect and uphold the right to freedom of expression. The day celebrated this year with the theme Press Freedom Day is a press for the planet. Journalism in the face of environmental crisis. It will interest you to know that the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, is currently hosting the 31st World Press Freedom Day Conference in Santiago, the capital of Chile. According to UNESCO, 70% of environmental journalists have been attacked for their work, and at least 749 journalists or news media reporting on environmental issues have been attacked in the last 15 years. UNESCO called for stronger support for environmental journalists and better governance of digital platforms. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) has reaffirmed that media freedom, freedom of expression and access to public information are critical to democracy and must be at the heart of Nigerian government's values and actions. It also said it recognizes the crucial role played by journalists, media workers and independent media in protecting the country's democracy and advised them not to give up in spite of the prevailing economic challenges. NGE made this known in a press statement signed by its president, Eze Anaba, and the General Secretary, Yobosa Ugare, and issued to mark this year World Press Freedom Day. The Guild also requested that the National Assembly should initiate and adopt a law to protect journalists who speak out on matters of public interest, especially against abusive and strategic lawsuits, which are regularly initiated to silence them. And in some foreign news, Turkey has suspended all trade with Israel over its offensive in Gaza, citing the worsening humanitarian tragedy in the Strip. The Turkish Trade Ministry says the measures will be in place until Israel allow an uninterrupted and sufficient flow of aid into Gaza. Trade between the two countries was worth almost $7 billion last year. Israel's foreign minister, Israel Katz, accuses Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of acting like a dictator. Katz says Erdogan disregarded the interest of the Turkish people and businessmen and ignored international trade agreements. The minister added that he had instructed the foreign ministry to find alternatives for trade with Turkey, with a focus on local production and imports from other countries. And over to sports news. Nigerian and Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman has been nominated for the Serie A Player of the Month of April. And this is the first time Lookman will be nominated for the award this season. The 26-year-old was one of the key performers for Atalanta in the month under review after he registered 1 goal and 3 assists for Lade. Lookman has scored goals and provided 6 assists in 27 league appearances for his club this season. And that was our news at 10, but just before we go, stay alive. Make use of pedestrian bridges where available. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X, Traffic Radio 961. Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration organized a mentorship seminar for over 1,000 youths on the theme Agripreneur, Strategy for Wealth Creation? Well, you can always get details on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Government, through the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, has successfully certified a total of 603 prepayment certificates, PCs, for projects across all 20 local government areas in the state. The Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, said that 36 state governors are reviewing their individual fiscal space and the consequential impact of various recommendations geared towards achieving a sustainable and improved minimum wage. And we also told you that Turkey has suspended all trade with Israel over its offensive in Gaza, citing the worsening humanitarian tragedy in the Strip. In sports, Nigerian and Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman has been nominated for the Serie A Player of the Month for April. And for contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And at the end of the news broadcast, it was compiled by Adirayo Idu Olaya. Thank you very much for listening, Lagos. My name is Mike James. Good morning.